look at that creation and I proudly wave my victory flag. It's like someone eating nuts, cause I just made the tea bag. The year is 1906, a more uncivilized time, where tea leaves were just infesting everywhere. The issue presenting itself was the leaves getting everywhere. Frustration of wanting to drink made it so unfair. All I want to do is enjoy the tasty water. Getting leaves in your teeth turns it to an enjoyment slaughter. Need someone to come along and fix this heinous blot. Then I thought, that's me, I'm a genius on the spot. I need to cleanly move the leaves from point A to B. I need a contraption for this. Who's a genius? It's me. I'll get a piece of fabric attached to a string. You see what's back in my step? That's right, the spring. The leaves give the flavor without the fear of spreading. Now this is the greatest invention since the dawn of bedding. Now it can be enjoyed with any snack, sweet or salty. With this invention there is squat that is faulty. I look at my creation and I proudly wave my victory flag. It's like someone eating nuts, cause I just made the tea bag. The year is 1906, a more uncivilized time, where tea leaves were just infesting everywhere. The issue presenting itself was the leaves getting everywhere. Frustration of wanting to drink made it so unfair. All I want to do is enjoy the tasty water. Getting leaves in your teeth turns it to an enjoyment slaughter. Need someone to come along and fix this heinous blot. Then I thought, that's me, I'm a genius on the spot. I need to cleanly move the leaves from point A to B. I need a contraption for this. Who's a genius? It's me. I'll get a piece of fabric attached to a string. You see what's back in my step? That's right, the spring. The leaves give the flavor without the fear of spreading. Now this is the greatest invention since the dawn of bedding. Now it can be enjoyed with any snack, sweet or salty. With this invention there is squat that is faulty. I look at my creation and I proudly wave my victory flag. It's like someone eating nuts, cause I just made the tea bag. The year is 1906, a more uncivilized time, where tea leaves were just infesting everywhere. The issue presenting itself was the leaves getting everywhere. Frustration of wanting to drink made it so unfair. All I want to do is enjoy the tasty water. Getting leaves in your teeth turns it to an enjoyment slaughter. Need someone to come along and fix this heinous blot. Then I thought, that's me.
Marvy, love you. Also, question, can you hear the fan? Because it's very hot and you need the fan. Can you hear it? Also, I want to try something. Do I have it here? A little? Okay. Hold on. I'll just turn it a bit. I'll turn it a bit. It's gonna blow that, but that's better. I'm nice and loud. Is that too loud? I want to try something smarty. No. Fuck. Oh yeah, there it goes. I did it! I'm a smart little bean. Yeah. You like it? When I shout people out, it does a little clip. I'll send you the thing. I'll send you the thing. I know, how cool is that? I was so happy with that. Oh, so good. No, Pat taught. I'm not professional. I have a professional husband. I'm just lucky. I'm like, now the wind's blowing, you can see my laundry. I love my little bit. I'm so excited. How are you, Smarty? How have you been? I know, I love my little emotes. I know that they're not like professional and stuff, but it's so cute. That I feel like they're just like me though. They're just like, they've got their little, they're just raw and all that stuff, but they're cute. But they're, you know, things have flaws and stuff, and they're not like perfection. But because they've all been drawn off MS Paint, which I love. Love that. I like things that aren't 100% perfect. Hey Lex, how's you been? How's you been? I want to show Lax now too. Let's do another one. Ready? Wait for it. Just wait.
I saw it. Oh, please don't give them. Don't give them the power. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. These lines are working really well for real life. I'm enjoying it.
Hey Haru!
Early holes, but I don't believe you.
I love that. I love that. It's so exciting. How are you, Haru? I am so excited. I love that that works. I thought it wasn't gonna work. I'm good. I'm so young looking. You don't have a I don't think you have a beard now. Also, excuse the no makeup, excuse the rough hair. I am dying of heat. Hello. That's fine. Oh, hydrate. I've got soda water and lemon juice. It's a good little mixture. You do have a beard now? I'm not paying attention. Yeah, it's really good. It was so much fun. I've really gotten into playing it. It's a good little game. I hope Apon's internet's alright. Hey, Flat. Check Discord. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Yep, you do have a beard. Have you on audio? No, I don't. Oh, I'm talking, but I don't have any other sound. I don't generally have music or anything. I haven't worked that bit out yet because I'm picky about music. Yeah, I'm just doing the normal criminology stuff. Oh, you have me on audio only. Okay. Well, I can't show you my new shout out thing. Then I'm so excited about it. Makes me so happy. APOM is a little gem. I should probably get into my criminology stuff. Forewarning. This week has not been great for me illness-wise. My brain has been a running mess. So my studying on this subject has not been a 10 out of 10. Yeah, it is a serious topic because here's the thing about this topic. I was considering cancelling because I like to give things 100%. And if I don't feel like I've given it 100%, I don't want to do it. And yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And the fact that what did I just say? Thank you. No, but the fact that I didn't give it 100% really disappoints me. So I'm disappointed in my work this week. But yeah, it is what it is. It might be a little bit smaller than usual, but I'm doing my best. But the thing about this one is because I've put it in the title, it is Lindy Chamberlain. It is very well known. If you don't know it, it is the Dingo's Got My Baby line case. It's perpetrated in the media a lot as, did she do it, did she not do it? But here's the thing, it's not an unsolved case. It's very solved. She didn't do it. A dingo did get the baby. It's very sad. And I want to discuss this case very strictly as, here's what happened. People keep thinking, oh, she could have done it, but this is why they say that. So I just kind of want to go through that kind of thing. Yeah. That's why I'm trying to, give it what it deserves. But, well, the thing is with this case is that it's finished. It's been investigated. It's so hard to explain, again, I'm sorry about the fan to people. I need it, otherwise I won't be able to talk or think or anything. They investigated it. They had no evidence at all to, with cases, you need doubt. Is there doubt in this case? There was a lot of doubt, but they still put her in jail. I'll go into it, but yeah, it's a bit, but never stop learning. That's what we do. But yeah, so it's the death of Azaria Chamberlain and the wrongful conviction of Lindy, because that's what it is. It's a wrongful conviction. And I think what really set me off on this one is we did learn about this case exactly in camera. We did learn about this one in uni because in forensics, I've done forensics last semester, and we learnt about the case in forensics, and we did 3 cases that were wrongful convictions. We did this one. We did one in Canada, which I want to get to because they just closed the case, which is very exciting. I want to do that one next. And we did another one, which proves that DNA isn't 100% every time. Very exciting stuff. But with this one, it's a mixture of forensics going wrong and the media going insane. Absolutely insane. So, yeah. So, gotta get my notes back up. Lindy is named Alice Lynn Chamberlain at the time. Chamberlain Creighton now. Yeah, well, I think that something that a lot of people take away from my streams is that I'm not a massive fan of media, which I agree with media. I agree that we need media, because if we don't have media, we don't get information. But in saying that, we also need, as people, to dissect what is real, what is false, what is... we need to do our due diligence. Because if you go through a paper, you'll find that statistics have been taken and used to prove a point. But if you go to the report where all the statistics are, the statistics don't actually prove that point, but go against that point. It's just, you need to do your due diligence when you're reading papers. That's all it is. Except when it comes to Murdoch Press, who owns too much. Laxlin! Thank you. Hang on. You guys are just going to keep giving each other subs. But, yeah, I'm not against having media in general. I'm just for having educational media. Media where you have to show where you get your sources from, where you are, not all sources, but you know, like if you're getting statistics, you need to show where statistics are coming from. That kind of thing. You need to do your due diligence. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. It's just how I am. Especially in the heat. But we'll go back to my thing. So Lindy, she was called Lindy. She was born the 4th of March, 1948, and I really wish Apom was here because I need to know how to pronounce this. She's from New Zealand. She was born in Waikato. I hope that's right, Apom. Waikato, New Zealand. She was the daughter of Avis and Cliff Murchison. That's why her maiden name was that. Clearly. Apom is here. Okay. I'm posting this. Is it Waikato? Waikatane? I want to pronounce it properly. Lovely. Waikatane? Oh. Well, that took a turn. Fukatane. Why does it start with an F? Well, there you go. Thank you, Laxlam. Yeah, same. That's education. There we go. So when she was 20 months old, she moved to Victoria, Australia. Her father was a pastor. Not a pastor, like a priest. And they moved to new churches often, so usually once a year they would move from place to place to place. So she never really settled. For the first 5 years... Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's... Okay, I'm learning. So, Apom has said... We're in... Oh, W-H-I-N-T-E Rio is pronounced as an F sound. That's interesting. I need to learn more about this stuff. I'm not good with any English stuff at all. And when I say English stuff, I just mean speaking. We are now more culturally woke, yes. She met her husband, Michael Lee Chamberlain, and they get married. I have more here, more about like how they met and their marriages in the next slide. But for the first 5 years after their marriage, they lived in Tasmania. Then they moved to Mount Isa in North Queensland, and Michael served as a minister in Mount Isa in the Seventh-day Adventist. And here's the thing about that. In Australia, at the time, fucking camera, that church was very like, people were very wary of it, and that comes to be shown very much through the case, that people are very like, we don't know about this church. And then it shows, I don't know if anyone knows about, in the 80s there was the Satanic Panic, where if there's any sign of something unfamiliar or something they don't know about, they're like, oh, it's a cult. And you know, you've seen in the 70s there was a lot of cult behavior and stuff happening, so people were just like, well, cult. So that also happens a lot. So in the 70s, the Chamberlains had two sons. They had Aidan, who was born in 1973, and Regan, who was born in 1976. And then they had their first daughter, Azaria, who was born the 11th of June, 1980. Her second daughter and fourth child, Kalia, was born November 1982. Then we go to Michael. See, Michael was born on the 27th of February 1944.
A graze or minor injury, there's tea. There's tea. You took an arrow to the knee, have tea. Oh, tea.
Thanks. Oh, God. My streams are always such messes. That's great. So, Michael was a New Zealand Australian writer. I'm glad you're here. Do I need to turn the light on, or do I need to move the fan? Can you tell me what's going on? Seeing that you're here. No, it's all good? Yeah, it's a channel point reward thing now. I did some stuff. Did some streaming stuff this weekend. I tried my best. Michael Lee Chamberlain was a New Zealand and Australian writer. He was a teacher and he was also a pastor, just like her father, which, yeah. Yes, I did test the shout out. It works. Did you want me to test it again? I'll show you. Ah, here you go. Ready?
Attached to the pants.
Yeah, I can.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, is there like the three people that do it ever? They're actually like trying to relive the golden days of Ape Tail. Every time I see people at conventions, I'm always like, why have you got so much gear in Ape Tail?
They like. They don't want to be apes.
There you go. See? Works. Anyway. So he was the eldest son of Ivan and Greta Chamberlain. His father served as a warrant officer of the Royal New Zealand Air Force during World War II. His mother was involved in the administration of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in southern New Zealand. So, keeps going back to they were very involved in this church. That's very unfamiliar to, you know, people. People don't feel comfortable with new things. That kind of stuff. He was educated at Lincoln High School and Christchurch Boys High School, so goes to a good school, has a good family. Lindy has a good family. He commenced study at the University of Canterbury, but after converting to Seventh-day Adventist Church in 1965, he left and migrated to Australia. He subsequently studied at Avondale College in... I can't even pronounce the Australian things. This is terrible. Kurangbong. And graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Theology in 1969. That same year, he married Lindy after meeting her in 1968. So, that's just the background of those two. They have kids, married. Seems fine. Don't see anything dodgy going on. All good. What happened? So, on August 13, 1980, the Chamberlain family left their home in northern Queensland mining town of Mount Isa and headed west to see Central Australia's most famous feature. And I got it. A nice picture of Uluru. See, Uluru is, if anyone here is not from Australia, doesn't know anything about Australia, Uluru is this massive, like, mound in the middle Australia. It's very sacred to the Indigenous people here. Recently, just being told that you can't climb on it, which is good. You shouldn't climb on things that are sacred to other people. Just saying. People go out there and they go camping all the time. Don't understand it myself, but to each their own. And that's kind of what happened here. They went camping. So, went on a family camping trip to Northern Territory. So, I'm just going to go by the step-by-step details of what happened on the day in question. So, on the 17th of August, 1980, the Chamberlain family gathered with other campers around the barbecues near the tent site. Lindy was holding Azealia in her arms. Azealia was 2 months old at the time. So, brand new baby. Lindy was so happy because she always wanted a girl. She had 2 boys. Now she has a girl. She's very happy, gushing over a baby girl. No. Then she and Michael chatted with their friends Greg and Sally Lowe. Around 8, as Sally Lowe walked to the rubbish bin, she disposed of items left from the evening, and she turns to see a dingo following 4 or 5 steps behind her. Now, if you don't know what a dingo is like a big dog. It's a big dog, eats meat, hangs out in dry, sandy areas in Australia. There's a ton of them on Fraser Island. I've seen a couple of them in Fraser Island. They scared the hell out of me. But yeah, they're just these big, they eat meat, they're quite vicious dogs. That's pretty much how I can explain them. Minutes later, Michael entertained his son by throwing a crust of bread to a dingo that appeared near their barbecue tent. Lindy wasn't happy and said you shouldn't encourage them. And then the dingo pounced on a mouse that young Aiden had been chasing, which is something that I don't understand, because when we were at Fraser Island, they would tell us not to go near the dingoes. They wouldn't let the dingoes on the bus. They wouldn't, you weren't allowed off the bus if there was a dingo around. But this sounds like the dingoes were right next to them. They were near the dingoes, mingling with them. It's very confusing to me that this is an interaction like they were used to having humans around. So that's an interesting dynamic to me. 10 minutes later, having left Azeria with her sleeping brother Reagan in the tent, Lindy rejoined the rest of the campers by the barbecue bench. So she leaves her children together in a tent, which, you feel safe because nothing's happening. So good. You can hear. She then hears a baby's cry from the tent, and it sent Lindy racing back to investigate. And then all of a sudden you hear a mother's cry, oh my god, the dingo's got my baby. And that's the day that they have on Azeria's Chantel Lorraine Chamberlain's date of death. So, yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. But what happens after that, which is absolutely devastating for a mother and father who have clearly lost their child, is the most heartbreaking thing I think you can do. And this happens in a lot of cases where the first person, which is fine, you always investigate the people closest first, but in this case it sounds like a complete accident, an animal got you. That's what it sounds like. But in this case, you're going to exacerbate what happens. So, on August 24th, 1980, Wally Goodwin finds a jumpsuit, booties, nappy, a singlet, but the mantly jacket was missing. So when she was put to bed, she had a jacket as well, because in the desert it is very cold when at night time. It's not hot all the time like what you imagine it would be. So she's all rugged up, but they find everything, not the jacket. So when they find this stuff though, they do find that there has been some human interactions with the objects. So they're very iffy on it all. So then all the way from August to October, it takes for the police to get a statement by all 4 Chamberlains and to search their car, which is a little late. It's a little late to do that. And then in September 20th, 1981, over a year later, the Chamberlains' home was raided, as well as some homes of the key witnesses, which is, you know, bit of a scare tactic. Because if you're going to raid the key witnesses' homes, that's going to scare them into silence. But it is what it is. Then we go to this. This is one of the these are going to be some of the media slides, like what the media was trying to perpetrate as theories. So these, because it was such a huge case, everyone knew about it. It's very hard to get a fair trial when everyone knows what's going on. Everyone, like, you can't move a trial somewhere else when it's all over. So this bit reminds me very much of John Bonet, if anyone's heard of that case, where they go straight to, oh well, the brother did it and then therefore the mother's covering for the brother. Now, I don't know why that's something that people just jump to, because if you have a child that injures another child, you would rush that child to hospital still. That's, I don't know, that's a first instinct. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory with that one. I really don't have much to say to that. You can't just quickly jump on, and especially being a media source, you can't go and talk about a child like that, saying you're a murderer to a child, when they're going to grow up thinking that about themselves, which, that's just a thing. So that's one of the theories that, oh, hey Ashlaw, thank you Ashlaw, I appreciate it. Yeah, but that's just where hey Earthbound. Yeah, I just stick on the whole, I don't like when they jump. I'm very good. I'm dying of heat. Scott coming. Yeah, this. No, yeah, you do have to build them up now. I saw that you had a scare, so I was like, I might make it fair. No, but with all this, I was just like, you can't do that to a child, though. You can't. We live in a system where it's innocent until proven guilty, and I don't feel that it's fair that the media gets to pass judgment like that and say, no, the child did it. I feel like that's definitely crossing a line, but that's just me. Okay, have a good night. Sleep well. Sorry that you came into this. I should turn down that when I laugh. I laugh too loud. He will eventually, it's fine. But yeah, that's... Yeah, that's great. Thanks, guys. I see the love here. But, yeah, exactly. You can't... In Australia, I'm pretty sure it's I'm pretty sure it is all over, but I don't know Northern Territory's laws enough. But if you are under 14, you cannot be criminally responsible. So... Oh, I appreciate that. That actually really helps a lot. Bye. But yeah, the only reason that they did that though was because she was with her brother when it all happened. So they just were like, well, we'll accuse him, and that hurts because he would feel guilty enough as it is, so don't do that. I'm just annoyed by it in general. I'm gonna stop. So the next thing is they started blaming the Church of Seventh-day Adventists. So, as I was saying earlier, this was the time of the Satanic Panic. So they would equate anything they possibly could with satanic rituals, satanic, like... So, Seventh-day Adventist Church is a Protestant Christian denomination, which is distinguished by its observation of Saturday, not Sunday, as the seventh day. So a lot of churches say, well, because I don't know how much people know about the Bible. Grew up in a Christian family, Catholic family, so I know a bit. But they talk very much about how on the seventh day you rest, kind of thing, whereas Seventh-day Adventists think that Saturday is the seventh day. Other religions think Sunday is the seventh day. Every church has to argue over something. It's fine. I don't care. The seventh day of the week in Christian and Jewish calendars is as the Sabbath and emphasize the immediate second coming of Jesus Christ. Yeah, so everyone thinks that the second coming is coming eventually. So, to each their own. So, because it's a different religion from what Australia's main religion is, I don't know what it is right now. Pretty sure it's Catholic. Don't quote me on that. It's different, and people don't like what's different. So clearly, it's satanic. So I feel like that's mainly what got them a lot of hate, is the different religion. But the Satanic Panic was a result of hysteria, much like historical witch hunts. Upon hearing the tale of alleged satanic activity, people attempted to be more watchful, eventually erroneously identifying various members of their community as part of a satanic conspiracy. The hysteria spread quickly, where children were supposedly victims and were asked leading questions. So, this very much leads into what people's theories were of what happened out there, because there was a lot of theories about, did they slash her throat to praise some god, or with what the next slide is about. Yeah, I'll just do it now. Was she wearing a black dress and red booties and getting her throat slashed? And because when they found the blood pattern on the clothes, it was blood here. So clearly the parents slashed her throat, And they're looking in the car, which they found no blood in the car, but clearly it happened in the car. That's it's the kind of logic that I really love with people. The lack of evidence. But yeah. So the Chamberlain trial was highly publicised, given that most of the evidence presented in the case against Lindy was later rejected. The case is now used as an example of how media and bias can adversely affect a trial. Public and media opinion during the trial was polarised with fanciful rumours and sickening jokes. Many cartoons, in particular, antagonism. So, like, you know the cartoons that you get from, like, in papers? There was a lot of those, like, just very disgusting and very, like, I found them, but I'm not willing to put them on my stream. That's just me. You can look them up. I'm just not going to put them on my stream. I feel like it's distasteful to the 2 wrongfully convicted people who lost a child. That's just me. This happens in many cases though, where they go, well, she's not acting like a stereotypical grieving mother, therefore she did it. This happens with Madeline McCann. It happens with John Bonet. And these are the ones that haven't been solved. If they don't like the way that you grieve, therefore we won't solve it because we think you did it. I don't think that's fair, personally. Like, if you're looking in the wrong direction constantly, then of course you're not going to solve it. That's it. Also, in John Bonet, they were stupid. Like, they just destroyed all the evidence. Trampled it. But that's a different... I'm not going to go on that one. Yeah, exactly. They're not acting like stereotypical. Like, I don't grieve like a normal person. If I lost someone I cared about, they would blame me. Because I don't grieve like normal. I don't cry when someone dies. I cry all the time, but when someone dies, I don't cry. That's just how I am. So, I'm gonna go to jail. No, normal people don't exist. It's something that took me on many years to work out. Many years. We don't have normal. So this, I got this from a quote from an article. Seventh-day Adventist religions, including false allegations that Seventh-day Adventist religion, including false allegations that the church was actually a cult that killed infants in a bizarre religious ceremony. That's what I'm talking about. They like to exaggerate, make out that the church was killing children. Like, if it's different, people don't like it. I don't know, that's all I can explain about it, really. And the thing is, like, a doctor even, like, called in with a fake tip saying that Azaria's name meant sacrificed in the wilderness, but it actually means blessed by God. And then people were saying that Lindy was a witch. And, like, all these different tips were coming in like that. And, like, the whole thing with the black dress is that, yeah, she did have a black dress like that. She didn't wear it that day, but it was because it wasn't the fashion trend of the time. Like, because they weren't what you would call normal, people didn't like them. So that's very much where all of this came from. And like, still to this day, I've listened to a couple of podcasts where the police officer in charge of this has said he still believes that they did it. He still won't give up on it. And that's why I feel like I have not done this case justice in speaking about it, because I need to like put all the evidence forward and stuff. So, here's the trial. In the trial, there was a jury of 9 men and 3 women, which, honestly, I think might have been for the best. This is Lindy's trial, okay? Michael's trial, I don't have much information on. I know more about Lindy's. Michael also went through a trial as an accessory, and I think that is very telling on the media's part, that a little bit sexist, that she was the witch, she was the one that was doing the sacrificing, and he was the accessory, which I find quite sexist a little bit. That she was like luring him in to do it, and she was the one, like, you know, I don't know. I found it a little sexist, personally. But if it's a trial of more men than women, women are going to be more, like, they've done studies on trials, and women more than, okay, I'm just saying it because I'm a woman. Sometimes I feel like I can't pull the sexist card out sometimes. That's all. I'm careful. I'm careful with that. But yeah, he got put as an accessory where she got murder. That's all. It's a bit off. But yeah, if they were both doing it, why didn't he get murder as well, is all I'm questioning. But if you have a trial and a woman's on trial and you have men, it's been proven that men are less likely to put a woman away. Which sounds awful, I know, but they're less likely to think a woman will do it. So, I normally am like, oh, you need a jury of your peers, but in this case I'm like, fair. The lawyer's doing their job there. And that one's fair. So, the Crown alleged that Lindy Chamberlain had cut Azaria's throat in the front seat of the family car. Okay. Hey, Shirley! How are you? Yeah. Oh, we're just talking about some crime. Yeah, I know it's an intense allegation. There's no blood in the car. There's no knife. How do you prove that? Like, in a trial, it is the prosecution's job to prove that the defendant did it. In a criminal trial. You like crime? Good. So we're talking about the wrongful conviction of Lindy Chamberlain. It's a very famous case in Australia, but people still have this thing in their head that, yeah, they have to remove the reasonable doubt. It is the prosecution's job to do that. It's not the defendant's job to prove that they didn't do it. That's not their job. Their job is to defend themselves, but it's not to prove that they didn't do it. That's what really annoys me, is that I feel like I've read all 4 court papers of this. I had to do it for uni. And they didn't do a good job. They didn't do a good job at all. The papers did a great job. Congratulations to them. So, there was no blood in the car. Her body was never found. It's still to this day. Her body has never been found. So, that's another thing. Like, I'm very iffy about the idea of convicting someone when there's no body. I don't like it. Because you can't prove they're actually dead. That's enough to prove reasonable doubt to me. Like, there's no body, you know, if there's enough blood, if you can show me there's enough blood for that person not to survive, that's enough. But if there is no body, no blood, you know. So the key evidence to support this allegation was a jumpsuit discovered a week after the baby's disappearance, 4 kilometers from the tent. Oh, which gets me. As well as a highly contentious forensic report claiming to have found evidence of fetal hemoglobin stain in the front seat of the car, which they did one over, nothing. They did another over. Thank you for the lurk, I appreciate it. So, fetal hemoglobin is present in infants 6 months and younger. Zaria was 9 weeks old at the time of her disappearance. So, if she just cut herself once, it could be found in the car. They never said how much they found in the car. They didn't, nothing. But, you know. He claimed Azaria was wearing, okay, so they claimed that Azaria was wearing a maintained jacket over the jumpsuit, but the jacket was not present when the garments were found. So, that's enough as well to prove reasonable doubt. You're missing a jacket? Let's find that jacket. The witnesses said there was a jacket? Let's find that jacket. Okay. So on October 29th, 1982, Lindy was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. So in Northern Territory, life imprisonment is life. It's until 20 years, you're not free. You can get parole after 20 years, but for life you have to do rules that they tell you, like you have to go see someone, you have to, you know, you're stuck doing all the rules. Whereas Michael got 18 months suspended sentence. Never had to go to jail. So, there's that luck for you. So, on May 3rd, 1984, there was a petition presented to Sir Nyan Stevens, the Governor General, to relook at the trial. Then a bit later, like 1986 later, so 4 years after she's in prison, the police are investigating a death of a fallen climber at Uluru. And they find the jacket. And they go to Lindy and she positively identifies it. They test it. It was in a dingo's lair. It has dingo DNA on it. Yep. So she finally gets an inquest. She's released, gets an inquest into it. So, What? I don't know what it was supposed to be there. My awesome little... Yep. So, the inquest hearings ended on March 19th, 1987. But the report was out by the end of May. The commissioner defined the task to consider the whole of the evidence that led before me, and without placing an onus on the proof of any party to decide whether there is doubt as to the Chamberlain's guilt. They are entitled to the benefit of any reasonable doubt which I may hold. Good. So that's pretty much, someone looks at the whole case and determines whether there was reasonable doubt and whether people let them down. So yeah. So, the Commissioner stated that no criticism can be made of the manner in which the Crown Prosecutor addressed the jury. So, he's just saying that the prosecutor didn't do anything wrong. He didn't address the jury in any way that was misleading or made them feel that they had to convict one way or the other. The new evidence put before the inquiry shows that some of the prosecution's submissions should not have been put to the jury. Which is just, we found this jacket, so therefore the prosecution should not have put this evidence to the jury, should not have said this, all that kind of stuff. Scientific evidence, which was clearly poor even then, was not argued in detail. The prosecution strongly exaggerated the scientific findings of fetal hemoglobin in the Chamberlain's car and articles therein. The Commissioner found that these findings were of crucial importance to the verdict. The prosecution also relied on weaknesses in the Chamberlain's evidence and lack of evidence in the Chamberlain's claim that a dingo had taken their baby. The car was not tested until 13 months after the incident. So, I got the date wrong. That's on me. It was a year and a bit after. Testing was needed to decide if any blood could be detected, if such blood came from a baby, and if its presence was reasonably explicable only if it came from Azaria. There appears to be doubt whether any practicing forensic biologists would have been sufficiently qualified to perform these tasks. On the other hand, these items in the tent, which were tested a few days after the disappearance, gave results sufficient to establish that blood on them was Azaria's. Nevertheless, the stains on Azaria's jumpsuit and Maitland jacket do not provide any positive support for Dingo's involvement, nor for the allegation of murder. So what he's saying is, there's doubt. There's plenty of doubt, and they should not have been prosecuted. Neither of them. So, and what happens in all this time is, during the trial, Lindy fell pregnant with another girl. So through the trial, she's pregnant. So that daughter ends up going to Michael while she's in jail. Their two sons have to go into foster care because Michael can't look after 3 kids. So their family gets torn apart, ripped through the media, and then they get denied appeal after appeal after appeal until this jacket comes along. Which is, I'd say, a stroke of luck, but it's what they deserved. So, on October 21st, 1987, Chamberlains are allowed to return to court under a new Act of Parliament. And in September 15, 1988, all the way in 1988, they're found innocent. This has taken them 8 years to be found innocent. And still, in 2020, people are like, oh, I don't know if they're innocent or not. Yet, that struggle, their daughter, who died, would have been 8. And they had to deal with that. This is why I get so passionate about this stuff, because studying it makes you kind of go, holy crap. It's a lot. So, the Supreme Court of Darnadot Morning views that Azaria was taken by a dingo. So they finally go, yep, taken by a dingo. On February 27, 1990, Lindy tells Michael that she wants a divorce. Lindy has discussed this, and it wasn't what was going on, like jail and all that. It was the fact that they lost a daughter and it hurt them both, and they both reacted in different ways. So it was the loss of their daughter, not the jail and stuff. May 25th, 1992, the Northern Territory government gives them money. I'm sure, I guess it's something, but, you know, also, that's 10 years after everything. June 8th, 1992, Lindy gets engaged to her now husband, Rick. So Lindy is now Lindy Chamberlain Croshaw or something like that. She's been in the papers a lot recently for speaking out against people who think she's guilty. I know, I hate that. I hate people who think, oh, here's money, all fixed, but that money, like, what about the money that you would have got from working all that time? Or, you know, it's the same amount. It's not all fixed. You need the money for the mental health from being in hospital. From being in prison. There's so much that needs to be fixed about that. Like, I get it. People make mistakes. I get that. But when it's a mistake that is so easily fixed, like that, it's not a like, that's what really gets to me. It's not, here's money, it's done. It's, here's money, now let's try and work out what we did wrong here. And what we did wrong here is we let the media control what we were doing. And that's, you know, the Satanic Panic put so many people in jail that should not have gone to jail. And some of them still are in jail. And that needs to be looked into. And I will be honest, I don't know a lot of Australian people that have been put into jail wrongly. And that's something I need to look into. I only know what's well known. And, you know, that's because of the media. The media shows what they want to show. And I need to look into it better. That's on me. And that's what I want to do. But I just thought that I'll find something that's well known. I'll explain why it was stuffed up. Because someone asked me, where is a case that the media really got it wrong? And this is a case where the media really got it wrong. Sure, forensics played a massive part in it too, where forensic workers worked with the police to get a guilty conviction. That happens a lot. Unfortunately, when you work in forensics, you need to work solo and independent of the police. But that doesn't happen. But in good news of all of this, Lindy ended up getting custody of all her children. She got money. She got a husband. That's, I guess, all good news. The sad news is Michael Lee Chamberlain did die quite early, I guess. Yeah, that will be incoming. I want to do one from Canada next week. A wrongful conviction, because I did do an assignment on it, and it is very exciting because they got the right guy. Maybe they got a guy. They connected DNA evidence with someone through the genealogy. You know how they're using genealogy? Yeah, they used genealogy to get someone. But in Canada, they convicted someone. And it wasn't correct. And I did a whole assignment on it, and it pissed me off. I have issues. I hear you laughing in there. But yeah, I like the genealogy idea. Like, I want to get my DNA tested because I don't care what you do with my DNA. I really don't. Yes, I did. Because, I'll be honest, Michelle McNamara was massive, like, inspiration to a lot of people, including myself. I did read that book. Loved that book. It was not given to me, I borrowed it by my husband's friend. Such a good, like, chilling, and actually scared me. The book's good. The book is really good. No, Michelle McNamara still has her website up. I don't know. Is it Follow Me in the Darkness, or is that the other book? I have two books that I like. Follow Me in the Darkness, I think, is the one by Billy Jensen. I think Monster in the Darkness or something like that. Something in the Darkness. Hold on. I'm Googling. McNamara. American author. There we go. What's the book? I'll Be Gone in the Dark. I got it. Yes. There it is. Yeah. She was married to Patton Oswalt. She passed away right before the Golden State Killer was caught. Right before it. Yeah, everyone was so excited for her when he got caught. But I'll Be Gone in the Dark is very chilling. It's very telling of, like, what happened. Like, she doesn't pull any punches. She doesn't try and ease it, like, so that you feel better. She's like, this is what happened, and we need to feel it. And I'm like, yes. Yes. And it's just, I feel like, because there's a lot of American serial killers, American, like, things like that go under the radar that you just don't know about. And the Golden State Killer was one that just went under the radar until she wrote that book. And it's just something that you just go, thank God she did it. And I'll just put it on, hold on, I'll put on my things here. Yeah. But yeah, she was good. She was good at it too. She really investigated what she was doing. She was good at what she did. She made you really think about people's feelings. And that's the same with Billy Jensen. Like, I'm a massive fan of Billy Jensen. I love his books. I love his podcast. He cares. Like, he was a journalist. And he's just like, I can't be a journalist because I have to push people past this emotional limit that I don't want to. I want to look after people and do something for people, and I'm like, I'm with that. I'm a massive fan of Billy Jensen. He's good. He does a podcast. He does a podcast with Paul Holes. Paul Holes is the detective on the cold case of the Golden State Killer. Yes. Well, it can be gross, but it can be a good thing. As I said before, it is what people bring to things that makes things gross. So, if you go to journalism school in Australia, they like pretty much say, try and get a job for Murdoch and do what Murdoch wants. But the thing is, you don't have to do that. You can be a good journalist. You could, you know, do what makes you passionate. You could do things that are like... What? What's so no? Now I'm nervous. No, I'm just for... Yeah, I as I've said to Laxum, I've got my browser thing where I'm like, okay, I'm going to... I don't read anything from Murdoch, and that's just because I'd rather give other people the... What's it called? The clicks. The clicks. I knew the word. See, this is my brain today. Tell me I'm wrong. You can be a Murdoch journalist, or you can be a good one. It's not journalism if you're just doing what someone tells you to do. All the Murdoch journalists are like buddy with the Liberals. Like, you cannot question someone and go hard on them if you're friends with them. Like, have you seen the project where they're like... Have you seen the project where they're like really friendly with ScoMo and all that stuff, and ABC even. I'm not even like a fan of ABC because they're like give easy questions to people and stuff. I'm just like, I want to know the good stuff. I want to hear like, what are you doing for me? What am I going to get out of this? I don't want to hear, oh, what'd you have for dinner tonight? I don't care. I don't care what you had for dinner. I know, you'd think it'd be good though when it's funded by both sides. But it's not, because everyone keeps electing the same person in. I'm not bitter, I swear. I swear I'm not bitter. But stop it, guys. They're not gonna do anything for you. They're not. It's gonna end up being another political stream. I'm sorry. It's not grapefruit, it's lemon soda water. I don't know it. I'm always bitter. I'm so bitter. I can't help it. Especially because, okay, here's a little fun fact. My stepmother works for the Liberals. Fun fact. Of course I'm bitter. I don't like her. That's probably too much information for people, but I really don't care. Yeah. I only have short things that I love more than the project, but they do include staring into the sun and licking questionable surfaces. But I actually like licking questionable surfaces. Stop it. Don't judge me. I'm just... There was like this ad once with my brother on it. I've got a brother on my dad's side. And he was on an ad for the Liberal government. in Queensland, and I laughed so hard. I'm like, no, don't do it. Stop it. Oh, it's so funny. It was so bad too. It makes our immune system stronger. It does. That's how I boost my immune system. Like, people take those immune tablets. I lick dirty surfaces. My humor is terrible. I'm sorry for who I am. I'm very sorry for who I am. Ugh. Why is it so goddamn warm today? Can someone inform me why weather is weather? And why anyone is watching me contemplate the weather? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Also, we need a dad joke. Too much on the plate. I'm going. I like it. I'm going on to my live scene. Wait, that's not it. This one. There we go. I apologize for everything. That's something you'll learn about me very soon. That's some good soda water and stuff. Okay, I need to find someone to read before I start ranting again. Let's have a look. Who is on? And know that Fern's on. I just don't want to raid her when she is about to get off, if she is about to get off. Is she about to get off? Does anyone know? Was it worth it? Oh, I love it. I'm sorry, I needed the screaming goat. It's my favorite thing. No, it wasn't worth it? You don't like the screaming goat? Okay, you're bitter because I did that. Okay, I see how it is. Is that enough? No? Okay. Is that good? Oh well, we're gonna raid Fern. She has no say in the matter. Oh, better. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. Oh, Smarthy! Oh, I love you guys. Now go see Fern. She's a lovely little bean. Give her all loves. Bye.